Welcome! This video is about transpositional instruments. This video is a follow-up video to Transposition Part 1. The link for that video will be in this video's description. I highly recommend you watch that video before this video to avoid any confusion. So now that we understand transposition, transposing instruments will be a lot easier to understand. I'm going to break down what this means, how this works, and how this is used in music. Speculating why this is used in music will be saved for another video, as this video will just touch on the basics to get you familiar with the topic. So a transposing instrument produces a different pitch than what is written. This is because the whole instrument, meaning all of its available pitches or notes, are transposed up or down to a different key, which also lies on a different register of notes. That might sound a little confusing right now, but this will make a lot more sense when we begin to understand what is going on. Okay, so like always, let's start simple and then grow from there. In this example, the song will be in the key of C major, the instrument will be in B flat major, and the type of instrument is a clarinet if you are curious. What a transpositional instrument means is that the instrument is in a different key than C major. Normally an instrument would technically be tuned in the key of C major, which is known as concert pitch. In other words, when the instrument sees a C note written out and it plays what is written, a C note comes out of the instrument. What you hear is the note C. Unlike transposing instruments, when a B flat transposing instrument sees the note C and it plays that written note that it's looking at, it's seeing C, so it plays the note C on its instrument, and the note B flat comes out of the instrument, and this is why we call it a B flat transposing instrument. So as you can see on the left here, I have a little key just to kind of help you what's going on. Don't worry about this too much if it's confusing, if it boggles your mind at all. Just keep watching this video, try to make sense of it, because it might look a little intimidating when you see the B flat, but trust me, this is probably the simplest level of what's going on, and when you understand this, you will really understand what is going on. Okay, so now I'm just going to start talking about this a little more again. To start understanding what is going on in relationship to C, B flat is a major second down. So let's think B flat compared to C. If we get B flat and we want to go up to C, we're going to go up to the note B and then C. So we have those two semitones known as a hold tone, or also in other words could be known as a tone. And not only is that written C note transposed to that B flat a major second down, but all of the other notes on the instrument are transposed that major second down. So let's look at this a little more, let's make sense of this. So what happens if we do the opposite? What I mean by the opposite is, what if we now write that C note a major second up? Because remember, it's taking what it reads and it's going to then go 2 steps down. So what happens if we take that note that we want to play and we put it 2 steps up? It's going to take that 2 steps up, and it's going to take it, when you read it and you play it, it's going to take it that 2 steps down. Let's explain this a little more. I'm just trying to explain this in as many ways as I can, because some people think visually, some people think differently, and I'm hopefully trying to explain it in a few different ways here. I'm trying to. Okay, so as you can see, C up a major second is D. So we're going to write that D note. So when we write that D note, a C note is what comes out of the instrument when it plays the written D. So let's think about that for a sec. If we have a C and we want to go up 2 spaces, we have C sharp, then we have D. So we're going to write the note D, as you see on the left here. Let's look at the treble clef first. We have a D here. Remember, B is that middle line, so 1 up from B would be a D. We have that D right here, and then we also have, remember, as in the F-A-C-E face, we have a C right here. So as I just explained before, C does have that sharp, so we have those 2 steps. So now we see if there's a B flat major transposing instrument, it's going to read this D note, and then what comes out of the instrument is going to be this C note. So this gives us an insight on how we're going to have to notate the music for this B flat instrument. Anything we want to write for this B flat instrument, we're going to have to make sure that we write it 2 tones up. And an easier way to do that would be just moving the actual key signature 2 tones up. And that makes it a lot easier, but I'm going to explain that by the end of this video. Okay, so this makes logical sense. but it is really good to understand things. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So it is very important to understand that if you transpose a melody, chord, or song, etc., you must also transpose the key signature accordingly. So if I wrote a C major melody up a major second to the starting note D, then I would also change the key signature up a major second. Okay, so let's look. We have C major, and we're going to travel up those two semitones. So we're going to go to C sharp, then D, we land on D major. So what this is telling us is if we have a melody, chord, song, whatever it is, if it's written in that C major and we have that B flat transposing instrument, we're now going to write everything in the key of D major, and we're also going to move everything up that one space. We move it up that one space because it is a second. It's a major second, but we're moving up that one space because it goes from here to a second interval, okay? And the reason why we're changing the key signature is because the key signature actually takes care of if it's major or minor, and this will all be explained by the end of this. Okay, so let's try to make some sense of this. D major has the notes D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. So as you can see, it has those accidental notes F sharp and C sharp. If you want to know how to know every note and what notes are in every key signature, check out my Circle of Fifths video and it will teach you that. So now think about this. I said we're going to make everything in the key of D major, okay? So let's think backwards here now. Let's think about what the instrument is going to be doing to this D major. Remember, when it reads this D major, it's going to take it and it's going to take that two semitones down to a major second down. So let's take D major and let's transpose it down a major second, which is what the instrument would be sounding when it is reading this D major scale here. Okay, so watch what happens. We take a major second, which is two semitones, we apply that to D major. D major goes down one semitone, we get this. We go down another semitone, we get a major second. And look what we end up with. We end up with the scale of C major. So in other words, when a B flat transposing instrument is going to be reading this D major scale, and if it plays it, it's actually just going to be playing and sounding the C major scale, because everything it reads is going to be sounded a major second down. So furthermore, what this means is that when the instrument plays F sharp or C sharp, what is actually coming out of the instrument is the note E and B. So let's look at that. We have F sharp, it's transposed down that major second. We actually have the note E, no more sharp anymore. And we have the note C sharp right here. We transpose that down two semitones. We just land on the note B. Furthermore, everything else also just turns into a natural state of the note, starting from the note C. So we have that C major scale here. So just to conclude that, just say that one more time. All of the notes that make up D major become all of the notes that make up C major when played by the B flat instrument. This is very important to comprehend because when things get more complicated, this base knowledge will help us make sense of things. Okay, so let's look at one more with the song being in the key of C major. The instrument is an A major, and the type of instrument is an oboe d'amore. If you are curious, I hope I pronounced that right. That's how I've heard other people pronounce it. Okay, so in this instance, the relationship of C to A is a minor third down. It would also be possible for C to A to be a major sixth up, but this instrument is transposing down to A. It's not transposing up to A. Because it's transposing down to A, it becomes a minor third. If the instrument was transposing up to A, it would be a major sixth. Okay, so again, this means if the instrument plays a written C note, the note A comes out of the instrument. Just like before, now we do the opposite, meaning we transpose the note C up a minor third. Then after we do that, we transpose the key signature up a minor third as well. Okay, so let's just look at the note C. If we took the note C and we went up a minor third, we'd end up on the note D sharp. So this brings us to D sharp, but just like I taught in my Circle of Fifths video, D sharp is not a usable key signature. Since D sharp and E flat are the same note, they are known as enharmonic equivalents, and E flat is a usable key signature, we are going to transpose the key signature up a minor third to E flat, a usable key signature. Let's break this down further. The scale E flat has the following notes. It has E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, and D. So in other words, it has those flat notes, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So as you can see, I picked out those flats and I wrote them down here. So now let's compare that to the notes in the key of the instrument A major. A major has the notes A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and G sharp. Now let's pick out those sharp notes. We have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay, so now back to the written notes being in the key of E flat major. Remember, the instrument plays everything transposed down a minor third. So if we write the key of E flat major, each one of those notes gets transposed down a minor third too. Okay, so now let's see what happens when we transpose the flat notes in E flat major down a minor third and compare that to the sharps that are in A major. Okay, so as you can see, we get B flat major. We see these flats are B flat, E flat, and A flat. So now let's go down a minor third. Our result is we get the notes G, C, and F natural. No sharps, no flats. So you see the F, C, and the G there. Let's refresh. A major has the sharps F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So when an A transposing instrument is playing, it contains those notes F, C, and G in its natural state. So when we read in the key of B flat major, all of a sudden something funny happens. When we're reading a B flat, E flat, or A flat, which are the three accidental notes in B flat major, what comes out of the instrument actually turns out to be G, C, and F. So let me explain that one more time, maybe in slightly different words. So what this means is that when the instrument is an A major, it is transposing everything down a minor third. Since we then move the notes and key signature up a minor third from C, we are now in the key of E flat. Since the instrument is transposing what is written down a minor third, everything written in E flat also gets transposed down a minor third. So now when the instrument sees B flat, E flat, and A flat, what comes out of the instrument is G natural, C natural, and F natural. Furthermore, if we take the entire scale of E flat major and transpose it down a minor third, watch what happens. So remember, transposing down a minor third is what the instrument is going to be sounding. So when the instrument reads this E flat major scale, what comes out of it is going to be that minor third down. So let's see what comes out of this A major instrument when it's reading in E flat. Okay, so we have E flat major, transpose it down those 1, 2, 3 steps, 3 semitones, making it that minor third. Look what we have. We have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C major. I don't know about you, but this gets me excited. Okay, so in conclusion, when we write a melody in E flat major, it is telling an A transposing instrument to play in the key of C major. And also, it is much easier to think about transposing the entire melody up a third and not worrying about it having to be a minor or major third. Then from there, just transposing the key signature up a minor third. Okay, the actual key signature itself, which is going to affect certain notes being sharp or flat depending on which key you're using. And because of this, this actually gives us the same result, but in my opinion, more efficiently. And again, this will be explained by the end of this. Now let's look at a scenario where the key of the song is somewhere different than C major. So now this is interesting because now you got to reframe and think that, okay, so since the song is in the key of D major, what we're striving for is something to agree with that. So in these videos, you know, we're going to be talking about tonality here, things that are diatonic, things that are in tone, things that are in harmony. And we're not going to be branching out to more advanced topics which go into things that kind of break these rules and kind of expand further from here. We're going on these basic topics from now so we can really understand these foundational topics on a simple level. So what's going on is when we have the key of D major, we also want other things to also be in that key of D major because then everything will sound good together, okay? So let's go over a little list here. We're going to have a song. The song is in D major. The instrument is also in D major, but the key for the instrument to read is in C major, okay? The difference between C to D is a major second up, meaning we must transpose the notes in the song as well as the key signature down a minor second. Since the key for the song is in D major, if that key is transposed down a major second, it becomes C major. This makes perfect sense, but let's break it down. Let's understand this more. So D major has the sharps, or in other words, the accidental notes F sharp and C sharp. The song and the instrument are in D. Okay, so the song has that F sharp and C sharp, and the instrument has this F sharp and C sharp. The staff is in C major, but since the instrument is in D major, it transposes that C up to D major because it's going a major second up. Because when it reads that C, it is transposing it up that major second. So C goes up from C sharp to D, it lands on D with that major second up. Okay, to see this further, if we get the sharps in D major and we transpose them down a major second, watch what happens. So we have the F sharp and C sharp. Okay, that's D major right there. We're going to transpose both those down that major second. We land on the notes E natural and B natural. Let's go a step past that. Let's take the whole scale of D major and transpose it down a major second. As you can see, our D major scale here goes down those 2 steps and now becomes C major with all natural notes. So again, this helps us to understand what is going on here, but it is much easier in a real-life scenario to transpose the notes down a second without caring about if it's a major or minor second, and then transposing the entire key signature down a minor second. The reason why you do not have to care about whether the notes are transposed down a major second or a minor second is that the new notes that make up the new key signature will take care of that. And you can try all the tests and trials that you want, you'll see that it makes sense. When you take one key and you change it to a different key, those new sharp notes are going to accommodate for the proper spaces in between the notes, the melody, the chord, whatever you're transposing from. If you're transposing from C and you go up to D, as long as you make everything up that second, you just move it up one line and you change the key signature, which has the certain notes in it, it's going to take care of those exact distance between each interval. You won't have to worry about a thing. To conclude, a D major instrument plays D major when C major is written. So if the notes are written in C major, it is actually playing in D major. Since the song and the instrument are in D major, if we write the notes for the instrument in C major, then it is actually playing in the key of the song, which is D. So everything is working together here. Furthermore, any key signature written for the D major instrument will be transposed up a major second because all of those notes in the key will be transposed up that major second. This is all because the difference between C and D is a major second up, and we're using that D major transposing instrument. Okay, so now let's make things a bit more complicated. Now we're going to have to think a little more. Okay, so we're going to have a song that's going to be in D major. D major has the accidentals F sharp and C sharp. The instrument is going to be a clarinet in A major. A major has the sharps F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. The written key for the clarinet to read is going to be in F major, which has the accidental note B flat. Okay, so the simplest thing to do is transpose the key signature as a whole. Since the instrument is in A major, the difference between C and A is down a minor third. This means the instrument transposes everything that it's reading down a minor third. And since the key signature that the clarinet is reading is an F major, if we take that F major and we transpose it down a minor third, which is going to be what the instrument is playing, we land on D major. Okay, so just as a quick review, this means that when the A major instrument reads music written in F major, it is actually playing in D major when the note comes out of the instrument. And since the song is in D major, this is what we want. So let's take the same exact example and dive a bit further like we did before and understand this more with the accidentals and sharps and what kind of happens when we're transposing things. So instead of just going, okay, yeah, this works and it makes sense, we actually understand why this works. Okay, so this might look the same as before because it is exactly the same, but I'm going to go over it one more time. We have the song in D major. We have the accidentals F sharp and C sharp. We have the instrument, which is a clarinet in A major, which has the accidentals F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. And we have the written key for the clarinet to read, which is an F major, which has the accidental note B flat major. Since the instrument is in A, it transposes everything written down a minor third. Since the song is in D major, that is another way of saying it uses the natural notes besides the sharp notes, which are F sharp and C sharp. Since the song is in D major, that is another way of saying that it uses the natural notes besides the sharp notes F sharp and C sharp. And since our instrument is in A major, that is another way of saying it uses the natural notes besides the sharp notes F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Next, the key on the staff for the instrument to read is in F major, which is another way of saying it uses natural notes besides the note B flat. Since F major is the key the instrument is reading, it's going to be playing that because it's going to be reading this. So it's going to be reading F major and it'll be playing F major. But remember, it's a transposing instrument, so what it plays and what it reads and what comes out is different. Since F major is what the instrument will be transposing once it plays, it's going to be transposing that down a minor third. We already know that if we take F major and we transpose it down a minor third, we get D major. Okay, so let's think about that backwards. We're just going to go from D to F, and we're going to kind of make sense of this. We have D, we go D sharp, E, F, 3 semitones. We have that minor third difference between D and F. Okay, to explain why this is further, let's look at what happens when we transpose the only accidental note that is in F major, which is B flat. We take it down a minor third. So let's look at this. We take B flat, we go down a minor third, boom, 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 we get the note G. And do you notice something? That is the note that is the difference between D major and A major. So let's look at this a little more. So to conclude, since the song is in D major, it has the accidentals F sharp and C sharp in its key. And since an A major transposing instrument has the accidental notes F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, when the instrument plays F major, the accidental note B flat is in the key that it's reading. But when the instrument plays B flat, G is the note that comes out of the instrument. Furthermore, if we take the entire scale of F major and we transpose it down a minor third, watch what happens. So let's first look at our accidentals. So B flat becomes G. Perfect. What we're left with is D major, so we only have F sharp and C sharp. What happened when we wrote this in F major for an A instrument is the A instrument took this F major scale and transposed everything down a minor third. Now we're in D major. And as you can see, that B flat note just becomes G natural. So now we see that F major becomes D major. And now we can make sense of why. Okay, there's that missing G note compared to that G sharp note when the A instrument's just playing what's written in C. Okay, so as a result, when a song is in D major and the instrument is in A major, we have to consider these two things. First, D major has the accidental notes F sharp and C sharp. So since the actual song is in D major, we want everything else to fit in within that. And since D major is basically a scale that has natural notes besides F sharp and C sharp, we're going to want something that has that F sharp and C sharp, not more and not less, just the notes F sharp and C sharp. And second, A major instruments means that everything, including the key signature, is transposed down a minor third from what is written. Therefore, we must transpose our music up a minor third to compensate. Since D up a minor third is the note F, if we write this song in F major, then those notes in F major are transposed down a minor third and become the notes in D major. This is all because the instrument playing the notes is in A major, so it transposes everything that is written on the staff for the instrument to read, it transposes it down a minor third. So now the A instrument is actually playing in D major when it is reading in the key of F major. So here's kind of a different way to look at this again. We're going to look at the relationship of A up to C, and A up to C is those 3 semitones, and we have a minor third. Then again, if we look at the relationship from D up to F, we have the same thing. We have those 3 semitones going from D to F, so we have that minor third difference.